Steroids shouldn't have been allowed. And the only reason why the political world got involved with it, the senators and the House of Representatives got involved with it, is because it became a huge story. If Jose Canseco didn't come out with that book, this would have never happened. Steroids would have still been. And we've had so many baseball players on this show that are playing in the game right now and not playing anymore. Every single one of them said it's 162 games in a season, and most guys don't stay healthy in 162 games. Why shouldn't they be allowed to do steroids? Why shouldn't they be allowed? And that's the truth. So you're going to tell me Bud Selig didn't love it? He didn't love Mark McGwire. He didn't like Sammy Sosa smashing the ball, or even the great Barry Bonds, who, by the way, was a Hall of Famer before he did any steroids. You're going to tell me that these guys shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because you know that they saved baseball? And betting is a part of baseball now.
Was a Hall of Famer before.
100%.
Right? So I think there's a lot of them. And just like way back when players were doing greenies in order to be able to stay through a whole season, the steroid was just a bigger version of that. Yeah, guys could hit the ball further and have more power and be able to recover quicker and all that stuff. I'm with you. I'd like to see there should be an asterisk. It was the steroid era.
Yeah.
But, does Bonds belong in? I'm not a Barry Bonds fan, but he belongs in the Hall of Fame.
There's a lot of guys. And by the way, you're going to tell me Mike Piazza never did steroids? You're going to tell me Jeff Bagwell never did steroids? How about David Ortiz? You don't think he did steroids? He's another guy that was proven to do steroids, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Oh, he's a likable person.
Meanwhile, it took like 6 tries for Edgar Martinez.
Oh, give me a break. Manny Ramirez shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame?
Right.
Come on, guys. This is ridiculous. The writers are horrible. They're absolutely horrible. You have the power to keep guys out of the Hall of Fame. That's not fair. You really should have a committee of players that have been in the league, that are well respected in the league, and have them vote. I don't care if Barry Bonds wasn't liked. There were a lot of guys that weren't even liked. But if your peers think that you should be there, you should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to tell you this. Tim Raines, a Hall of Famer? Harold Baines, a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think Tim Raines was?
I think he's a borderline Hall of Famer. I know Harold Baines shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. The only reason why he's there is because of Tony La Russa. Right. That's the only reason why he's there. It's just the facts. And it's a love fest. Now it's become that in professional sports. Baseball used to be so hard to make it to the Hall of Fame. Now you got guys. Tim Raines wasn't one of the greatest players of all time. He wasn't. And either was Harold Baines. Barry Bonds was. Roger Clemens was.
Right.
Come on. If they're not in how about this? Why isn't Andy Pettitte in the Hall of Fame? He came out. He stood for what he said. He's one of the greatest playoff pitchers we've ever seen. Why isn't he in the Hall of Fame? Oh, I don't know. You have all these other guys that we've seen go into the Hall of Fame. Roy Halladay was a great pitcher. No question. If you look at his numbers, are they Hall of Fame-esque? Honestly, they weren't. No. Why is he in the Hall of Fame? Okay? I understand he got into a plane accident. That's not, may he rest in peace. I understand that. And it was horrible to see what happened. But why is Roy Halladay in the Hall of Fame? CC Sabathia, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Why hasn't he been inducted into the Hall of Fame? This guy was almost a 300-win pitcher. And he did it in different decades. He did it without a power pitch.
What year did Sabathia retire?
Had to be over 5 years ago.
18, I believe.
Yeah, it had to be over 5 years.
All right, so it's right in that time period. I have a hard time arguing with you on these because I think these were all great players. I think part of your system is wrong though when you talk about having players vote them in because they tried that with the quote veterans committee.
Yeah.
And what they found was the veterans didn't want anybody that were in the Hall of Fame, didn't want anybody else in their private club. So they didn't vote anybody in. And so that was going on.
Listen, I have a lot of respect for Joe Mauer. Okay. I think he was a great catcher. He was fantastic. And they moved him to first base. When you compare his numbers to Don Mattingly, I'm sorry, Don Mattingly was a better player. Yeah. Why isn't Don Mattingly in the Hall of Fame? The guy didn't get even 50% of the votes. Yeah. This guy's one of the greatest first basemen.